I'm gonna go outside. Let me I'm gonna do a mic check. See how it sounds.
Get my water right quick.
Yeah. Stack it to this. So move it over a little bit. What's up?
Yeah, I'm just gonna start it. Then they chime in.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm gonna go outside.
Coming to you once again, it's your corner man coming with some sound advice. This is my name's Ted Johnson. I'm the owner of TJ's Boxing Academy, a retired professional boxer, and I just want to give my take on Keyshawn Davis and the Devin Haney fight. What y'all think happened? If it sounds like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a duck. So I'm gonna say quack quack. Was this a business move by the businessman, or was this just a duck? So I'm gonna start from my last video. My question was: did Keyshawn Davis is he going to duck Devin Haney? This was about a week ago. Now he turned down the fight. So let me go from the beginning how all this started out. Let's go from the beginning. It was supposed to be Shakur Stevenson was supposed to fight Devin Haney. So they were in negotiations, but Shakur Stevens said, you know what? I'll fight you, but it's got to be 144 pounds. Now, know that the welterweight division, the limit is 147. So, and just remember, and go back one more, go back a little further. Shakur Stevenson just beat Tio, so he was looking for another big fight, and Shakur looked very good. He stood in the pocket and he did really good. He did really good against Tio. I knew he would beat him, but he beat the brakes off him, like how the young buck said, beat the brakes off of him. So now he wants to fight Devin Haney. So Devin Haney, so he wants to. He says, "I'll at one. You got to come down to 144." Devin Haney says, "Okay." Meanwhile, while they're doing the negotiations, uh, Shakur Stevenson says, "You fight my little brother first." Only because Keyshawn Davis was making videos saying, "Where's Debo? I'm looking for Debo. I'm Craig. I'm looking for Debo." So he made videos, and it looked like he was at the house that they made when they made Anybody Knows Friday. You know about Debo, and you know about Craig. Craig, hit him with a brick. So Keyshawn Davis running around looking for Debo. I'm looking for Debo. Meanwhile, Devin Haney never answered back. He never answered back only because he was still in negotiations with Shakur. So Shakur Stevenson said we got to fight at 144
That's when
pounds.
I heard then they say hi.
Hello, hey, how's everybody? Thank you for the comments. Thank you so much. Yeah, so now they're in negotiations. So while Shakur Stevenson was in negotiations, Keyshawn Davis talking all that shit. He even went up to Bill. Even him and Bill Haney had a conversation, and Bill Haney said, "You got to stand on your word. You're next." Keyshawn Davis said, "Yeah, I'm going to stand on my word." So you guys can go back at those videos. But meanwhile, he's still in negotiations with Shakur. And now let me sidebar on Shakur. Shakur Stevenson is great on defense. He has a great defense inside the ring. I think he even has a better defense outside the ring because he said he's not going to fight Devin Haney unless they come down to 144. Now I'm gonna give y'all another little nugget. The WBO president of the WBO, that's the belt that Haney has. He says, nah, we're going to fight at 147. Devin Haney doesn't have to come down to 147. Nobody knew this yet, but the president, WBO, said 147. That's the limit. Since you got the belt, that's what you got to fight at. So Shakur Stevenson did a little move too, so he didn't have to. So he don't have to fight uh, Devin Haney. Then he did one more thing. He went to Zuffa. He went out of straight to Zuffa, which is another. We'll talk about Zuffa. Another that's another promotional company. So he left went right to Zuffa. He said, "Now you got to fight my little brother, Keyshawn Davis." So now he's like, "Okay, I'll fight Keyshawn." They finally give Keyshawn. They say, "Yeah, we'll fight. Here's $3 million." You know what Keyshawn did? What y'all think he did? I'll give y'all a second. Y'all let me know in the comments what you think Keyshawn did. Everybody probably heard of it now. Let me tell you what he did. He turned down the fight after talking all that shit that he wanted to fight Devin Haney. So I'm gonna go back to the old school guys. Old school guys. When I grew up, you knocked on somebody's door, they came out, you got to fight. You just don't go talking shit. They used to call it, come when I grew up, selling wolf tickets. You selling wolf tickets, you're going to get your ass kicked. Now it's a little different. These young bucks, they like to talk shit and they run and hide. Back when I was coming up, you couldn't run and hide. And anybody in my age grew up in the 60s and the 70s, and even grew up in the 80s. When you call for smoke, they call it smoke now. You call for smoke, even if you lose, he's scared to take an ass whipping. So let me go back to what he did. He said, nah, man, I don't want this fight at 3 million. We're gonna go to purse bid. So purse bid, if anybody don't know about purse bid, it's when you decline, you don't want to take that $3 million. You want other promotion companies to bid for it, right? Guess what they come up with? They said, motherfucker, we're gonna give you 2.1 million. So that he not only turned down 3 million, now they only want to give him the businessman 2.1 million. So one question for y'all now. He's called the businessman. Was this a good business move or bad business move? I'm gonna give you my answer. It was a bad business move because if you're talking all that shit and you think that you could really beat Devin Haney, fight the boy. You got more to win than you got to lose. If you lose, you get your ass whooped. We all take losses. You lose your cousin, you lose your dog, you lose your girlfriend, you lose money, you lost a fight, you lose a bet. So losses come in life. But these young boys are scared to take a loss. The risk was outweighs uh the reward. The reward you get, he's gonna get the belt and he's gonna get the $3 million. You know what he can do? You know what the businessman can do now? He can ask for more money. Oh, speaking about money, this guy, this guy says, well, his coach says, because not all coaches, but these new coaches are just yes men. You ask Keyshawn Davis, coach, he's a coach, so you should be a little knowledgeable. He said, and he's arguing, uh, Keyshawn Davis is better than Norman Jr. He was the champ. He's the one that Haney took the belt from. So if you know about him, Brian Norman, he was the champ. Brian Norman asked for $5 million for that fight. He got it. You know why? Cause he had the belt, motherfuckers. He had the belt, so he could ask for that money. His coach is saying, "Oh, Keyshawn Davis is way better than Brian Norman." I don't know if Keyshawn Davis ain't putting asses in the seat. He ain't put, I mean, I like him. I liked him. I still like him. But up until this time, I'm kind of I don't know. Now he's going to let me get back. Let me get back to the coach. I'm getting on the coach now. So he's arguing, saying he's better than Brian Norman, so he should get the money. Keyshawn Davis ain't no champion. Guess who the champion is? Devin Haney. So that's why they're not going to give him the 5 million. They offered him $3 million and a chance to be the champion. Now, if he won that belt, the sky's the limit, businessman. So I think it's a bad business move on his management team. I think he was just scared. he had to be scared because if I know I can whip a motherfucker's ass, I'm gonna fight him for free and take his belt. Then I'm gonna ask for what I want. If I know, if I'm confident enough, and let's not be a fighter. Let's take fighting off the table. Let's say you're a chess player and you're a bad motherfucker on that chessboard. You beat everybody and you're confident that you're the best. This joker on the other side of town, let's say the other side of the country, plays chess too. And he's the champion, but you know you can beat him. And they're only going to offer you $100,000, but he's going to get $500,000. You're going to still go get this guy because you know you're going to whoop his ass. So you take his belt, and then the world is yours. So I think he ducked. I think he's scared of an ass whooping. And Devin Haney is a lot better than people are giving him credit for. Shakur Stevenson, who my wife loves, he left, went right to Zuffa. One more thing about Shakur. This is what he said. What other grown man says? He said it twice. He said, "Fight my little brother Keyshawn Davis, then I'll fight you." His little brother Keyshawn Davis, Debo said, "Yeah, I'll fight him." Then Keyshawn Davis don't want to fight. Now, guess what he said? Shakur Stevenson. If anybody's listening, put it in the comments. What do you think Shakur Stevenson said now? Because he ain't gonna fight Devin Haney. He's scared to fight him too. Guess what he said? Go fight Boots. So now a grown man telling somebody, fight my little brother, then I'll fight you. Now he's saying, go fight Boots. You know, Boots is at 154 now. Give you another nugget. And you guys can Google this. He asked, well, he never sent Boots a contract. But before Boots went up, they were talking about Devin Haney was gonna uh fight Boots. Say what you want about Devin Haney, but he got an appetite for smoke. I stole that from brother Abdullah Mason. It's yours, Abdullah. So, but I gotta use it. Abdullah Mason, he's a bad boy. And he's in that division too. He's a lightweight 135. And Keyshawn went up to him talking shit, talking about, do you want to fight? So he go around, flapping his gums and quacking, but then when they accept the fight, he's ducking. So now, what's next? What's next for Keyshawn Davis? What's next for Devin Haney? I'm putting the car. I'll give you guys a second to comment. And these are just my thoughts. We're gonna go with the thoughts on Keyshawn Davis. I love you, Keyshawn, but you lost some cool points, man. Cause you're doing bad business. Because guess what? Your next fight, you ain't gonna get that 3 million. You ain't even gonna get that 2 million. And talk about money. He only made $1 million. He never made more than $1.5 million anyway. So he had a chance to get $3 million and a belt. You guys can Google, see and he did good against Jermaine Ortiz. He beat Jermaine Ortiz and he fought Nair Albright. Nair Albright, he fought Nair Albright twice. The first time he was on drugs, he was on weed, so they disqualified him. The second time he fought him after Nair Albright beat Keyshawn Davis's brother's ass. So Keyshawn fought Nair Albright and won. So he's only picking fights. The businessman. So he's doing business, but I think he's doing monkey business. But I love him. You gotta be special to fight anyway. So I'll give him that. He is an Olympian, silver medalist, so he's a bad boy. But he kind of lost some cool points. I don't know where he's gonna go next. My thoughts is he's gonna fight somebody who he know he can beat. It's gonna be an easy fight for him. He only gonna get $1 million. The promotional company ain't gonna give him that money that he lost, that he thought he was supposed to win. And I don't know why his promoter, his coaches was saying, his coaches was arguing, oh, Brian Norman got $5 million. Dude, Brian Norman was a champion. Brian Norman was a champion, so that's why he asked for it. That's why he asked for that. Keyshawn Davis never made more than $1 million, so you should have told Keyshawn, if you talk all that shit how good Keyshawn is, and Devin Haney don't have a good chin. Why didn't you just tell Keyshawn, man, fight this boy and take his belt, get the $3 million, boom, which is 3 times more than you ever made. Now you got a belt. Now you can write a blank check. So it was a bad business move, businessman. You doing business, you did bad business. But we all make mistakes. Even players fuck up. I fuck up all the time. So I'm knocking you for ducking, not for the business decision. Because you made a bad one. We all make bad, but it was a bad decision because you could have had the belt. And if he was so good, if you're so good and you so high that you can beat Devin Haney, you should have got it. Now let's go to Devin Haney. I don't know, man. What's next for Devin Haney? I guess he has to look down the rankings and see who else is number one for him. But two guys turned down the smoke from Devin Haney. Shakur Stevenson left the promotion company, went to Zuffa. Oh, and guess what? Devin Haney ran the Zuffa, so he gonna catch you, Shakur. You're gonna have to fight. But if you want the title, you gotta fight at 147. It's gonna be a good fight though. But they're hesitant. They're very hesitant on fighting Devin Haney. I don't know. I know why. The boy is bad. He had a bad outing against the boy Ryan Garcia, which was on. He was taking drugs. So and he got and but Devin Haney, he knocked Devin Haney down. But guess what he did? He got his ass back up and he fought, and he ain't scared of the smoke. And he don't talk no shit. His pop's a good promoter. Bill Haney, you know, thumbs up to you, brother. Keep talking that shit. You ain't gotta. You just keep talking, and your son gonna back it up. Whereas Keyshawn Davis, you talking shit, man. You made videos. You guys go look. He made videos talking about where Craig at? Where Craig at? Craig, where Craig at? I'm sorry, where Debo at? Where Debo at? He said, you know what Craig did? The Debo hit him with a brick. He had a brick in his hand and everything. Debo opened the door and came out. Now and Craig laughed. Craig ran on TV. Craig really fought. So you not even Craig, man. At least Craig threw the brick. You ain't even throw the brick, man. So you can't be Craig no more. You got just stick to be the businessman. Stay with the businessman. You can't be Craig no more because Craig picked up the brick and he hit Debo. And guess what? The reward was he walked away with Nia Long. That was the girl Nia Long. So he won the prize. He was the winner after all. So then he got to write his ticket. And then he made more movies. So you know what I mean? So that was your reward. So if you'd have took this fight and if you'd have won this fight, the world was yours, businessman. You did bad business. So it sounds like a duck, and we all used to say this as a kid. Sounds like a duck, walk like a duck, and quack. And now this was quacking like a duck. I say quacking only because he was talking. If he wasn't talking, it just would have been it would just been walking like a duck. But since he's quacking, and then he's running. And guess what? Ducks can't fly that fast. So Debo gonna catch you. So I don't know what's next for Craig. I can't call him Craig. That's right, cause Craig at least fought back and threw the brick. What's next for Keyshawn? Not even calling the businessman right now. What's next for Keyshawn? There, I don't know. I think he's gonna take an easy fight. He's got good people in. He's got good people in his. Well, I'm gonna say bad people in his management team because his management team should have told him to fight, but the management team knew that he couldn't be. Obviously, that they knew that he couldn't beat Keyshawn. I mean, beat Shakur. I mean, I'm sorry, beat Devin Haney. So his people said, "Man, listen, me personally, I know I'm jumping around. Me personally, I think he should have took another fight first and then fought Devin Haney. But Shakur Stevenson put a battery in his back. He said, "Man, you fight my brother first." So Shakur, man, you throw him under the bus, man, because you didn't want to fight him. You said fight at 144. How you gonna make the champion come down at a catch weight? The limit is 147. So then he ran the Zuffa, and you didn't hear nothing about him. He wants to fight at 144. Devin Haney said, "Yeah, I'll fight you at 144." He ran the Zuffa. He said, "Fight my brother Keyshawn." Keyshawn, where's Debo? I got a brick. I want to hit him with a brick. Debo came out looking for you, man. You turned down the $3 million. You don't get to fight. So now you got to pick and choose what you got. So I'm getting ready to wrap it up, y'all. But put in the comments If you think it was a duck, if you think it was a business move, what do you think? I think it was a duck. So stay tuned. And I'll come back with another one for you. Your corner man. Yeah.